Hey, subscribe to my channel. I love you.
Car D Kaizoku.
This video is sponsored by TCGX. Check out the brand new TCGX app. It lets you run your own local card shop. List your trade binder and instantly share it with friends nearby so they can buy and trade directly with you. Check out tcgx.gg to get started. This video is brought to you by Adakai TCG. Shop the latest in premium holographic textured custom One Piece cards. Designed for collectors, crafted to stand out. Use code Kaizoku for 15% off your next order. This video is sponsored by gumgum.gg. See the most up-to-date Eastern and Western deck lists on gumgum.gg. Updated daily. Be the first to see deck lists for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1,000 deck lists per set, gumgum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. Alright everyone, it's going to be our first EB03 tournament of the season. Are they called seasons? But yeah, it's going to be the Hiroshima regionals. The area Taikais, I think that's what translates to regionals. So yeah, we're just gonna do like a kind of English follow along. We're just gonna watch along and then I'll bring up cards in English. It might be a little slow and janky as we ramp up things in EB03. I don't have every EB03 card memorized just yet, but yeah, up on screen here, what you see is the leader breakdown of this tournament. So there's 22% emus, 20% aces, so ace actually not the most represented deck at this tournament. 11% green Zoro, 9% Roger, 7% Sabo, who did get buffed from EB03, so we see it accordingly get played more. Nami also got buffed, so we see some Namis here, 4%, and then Bonney at 4%, and then Vivi even showing up here at 3%, and then Rayleigh at another 3%, and then the rest of the 17% is made up of decks like UP Luffy. Whoa, Blue Purple Luffy is not top meta anymore. Red Zoro too. There's even Buggy, call him Bug, Katakuri, call him Cat, and then Lim, and then Law, Green Yellow Law, and then Yamato. This is Doflamingo. What the heck? Dofla and Red Zoro, and then Kalgara. And then Red Purple Luffy or P, and then Kobe too. Yeah, Kobe did get a buff, but I guess not enough to contend with the big boys here. So yeah, let's just jump into whatever the top cut for this tournament is. Yeah, usually I kind of do these like as live as possible, but I was so dead tired yesterday. It was my last day at work before I got laid off, so I just wanted to chill, you know. Okay, so here is your top 16 of the stats we just saw. In the end, ace, 5 of them made it, so kind of flipped with the emu. 4 emus made it though, so it's more than half ace and emu. Green Zoro, so it looks like nothing is too different at the moment. 2 Sabos, whoa, it's a good deck now. And then Red Purple Roger. I'm glad I stuck to being a Roger or Sabo purist. No, not really. I've been playing a bunch of different leaders, but that's just because of YouTube. If I didn't have YouTube, I would have stuck with that Sabo deck. And then Yellow Bonney makes up the last of the top 16 here. So let's just jump right into the first match, the top 16 featured match on stream here. Nice thing about the tournament being done by now is that I can just skip ahead to tournament start, game fart. Okay, so it's going to be Red Blue Ace. Red Blue Ace. What set is he from? OP13. So what he does is on your opponent's attack once per turn, you can charge 1 card from your hand, give it to one of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 2,000 power for the turn, and then when he has a Dawn attached, and if he takes life damage or one of his 6k base power characters or more dies, he draws an extra card. And he's going against Bonney, also from the same set. Bonney, what she does is on your turn once per turn, this effect can be activated when you play a character with trigger. If you do, you can give up to 2 rested Dawn cards to one of your leaders or characters. Did Bonney get something new? Oh, yeah, she did get quite a lot of new stuff from EB03. Right, there's like a new Nami. Can I bring her up in time? EB03. This one here. 5 cost 6k. Oh, this one doesn't have trigger though. That's the thing. But makes your opponent lose a life, which is what Bonney wants to do. We'll see if it's run in the deck despite not having a trigger. Let me make the volume lower. I noticed in the last tournament I casted it was kind of loud. Okay, so it looks like Bonney's going first. Let's see what their starting hands are going to look like. I'm going to try to be more professional this time around. Hopefully. We'll see if it devolves into me being janky as usual. I'm starting to sound janky. Okay, so the starting hand for Bonney has one Omega. And then runs S Snake. Is that from EB03? Potentially, and then Zoro as okay, I don't know what a lot of these cards do actually, which is something that you shouldn't say if you're trying to be professional. Okay, so the Zoro is just a trigger character, okay? And then, what is the S-Snake? It's a new card from EB03. If your leader has the Egghead type and you have 2 or more life cards, you can add a 1 card from with trigger to the top of your life. Okay, so it heals you. And then the Ace's hand. Ace I'm more familiar with. So 2k counter Otama that can get bounced back by the Jozu. Red Rock to bottom deck the 9-cost Bonnie. And then I didn't catch the other 2 in time. So yeah. Hope you can give me some bit of breathing room here as I'm having to look up the cards, read what the EB03 cards do, commentate, and keep track of things at the same time. And I think I'm starting to realize that I don't need to like narrate every single thing. I think that actually might be a detriment because if I can't follow everything down to the T, then it kind of, I don't know, does it detract from the viewing experience? We'll see how it goes. I'm learning as I go along. I literally don't have any like practice or training besides these videos here. Okay, so Bonnie goes first. But maybe that's what you guys like, how janky it is. Like, okay, so they played a Lilith. It's not this one. It's the Searcher one, I bet. Right, it's this one here. From OP13, look at the top 4 cards of your deck for a trigger type character. Or card in general, and then add it to your hand. They pick up a Kikunojo, which is a great card. Because what she does is, on KO, if your opponent has 3 or less life cards, you heal a life, essentially. It's a vanilla stat line, and they can trigger out. And also, since it has trigger, you give 2 down to your leader. So on the Aces side, they start off with the Garp. Garp is just a top 4 searcher, and only Ace, Sabo, and Luffy can use this. But it searches for anything that is a cost of 3 or more. Which is like everything in Ace's deck, actually. Very nice. First turn searcher for Ace finds one of his Whitebeards. I do believe that one is the Blockbeard. This one, the alt art for it. This one draws you cards and gives 4 Dawn spread to a character and a leader. And is a 12k blocker too. Right, so playstyle of the deck is just kind of turtle until late game and then you just play a bunch of like very efficient cards. So Bonnie just swings 8 for her second turn, no characters to play, passes to Ace. Ace did take, but with 1 Dawn attached to his leader. His leader ability activates when he takes life, he draws an extra card. So we'll see what Ace can do on his, this is his 6th Dawn turn. 6 Dawn turn is when he can play a lot of things in his deck actually. Probably not the Jozu. Jozu has no good target to bounce, unless he really wants that Garp back to hand. So does opt to go for a second Garp to search top cards of his deck for 3 cost or more. He could find another Newgate here. Looks like he's opting to take a red card, Jozu 2k counter. That might be what is also in his hand already. I did see a red card that I didn't recognize, but it might have just been Jozu. Does play Izo, which is another searcher for the Whitebeard Pirates type. This one searches top 5 for a Whitebeard Pirates type card. And then additionally on top of that, when your opponent attacks, you can trash the Izo to cycle a card out of your hand. Yeah, it's kind of a setup turn for Ace. Swing 7k in the end. Is taken by the Bonnie. Gets a Bedge that can't be triggered because he has no more attacks, and then plays a Vista to end the turn, which is just not this one. This one, the 1 cost blocker. Yep, it was a Bedge. I always get Bedges when the opponent has no more attacks left to throw at me, so it's not as useful. So we'll see what Bonnie does on her 5 Dawn turn. Is it 5 or is it? Yeah, it's our 5 Dawn turn. So I misspoke earlier. That was Ace's 4 Dawn turn, not 6. If this is the case. Okay, so plays Kikunojo out, allowing Bonnie to put 2 Dawn on herself. 2 rested Dawn and just swings 8k at leader. I would say it might be worth it to just use the Vista now, because Vista will die and you'll but you need 6k base power to draw that extra card with Ace's leader ability. So maybe he opts to take it. No, he probably shouldn't. He's 2 turns away from playing his Whitebeards. Yeah, I just block with Vista. No, he uses his leader ability to discard a red rock to give minus 2k power to the Bonnie, bringing her to 6 and then counters 1k to fully defend it. Passes to the Ace's turn. Now it's his actual 6 Dawn turn, now that I can see all his Dawn. This guy is a mixed Dawn user. He just swings 6k, a vanilla naked attack at the Bonnie. Bonnie does have 5 lives, so she could spare another hit, but then a 6k you take now is a 12k that you can't tank later on, but she does decide to take it, hoping for a trigger. Gets a Lilith trigger? This one? Okay, I guess he gets to search top 4 for a trigger type card. Ends up taking a Bedge 2k. Here, I'll show you what the Bedge is. This one here. It's mainly used for this trigger, because when it triggers out, it outright stops one leader or character from attacking. Okay, so on the Ace's turn, plays the Jozu out to bounce the Kikunojo back to hand. while also bouncing one of his Garps back to hand as well. I would say that's a pretty good trade, right? This guy. You can even use him to bounce 2 of your own characters back to hand in case you have a bunch of like searchers or 2k counters that you want to bring back. Very good utility card that Blue has access to. And yeah, Bonney, at the moment, as you can see, has no board. Really didn't develop anything. Has a large hand size though, but like half of it is bricks. Now we could see Bonney go for the... I believe this is Stussy, right? The alt art for Stussy. So all Dawn is tapped. It is the alt art for this card here. It is a blocker, 7k power that lets you play out another 5 cost trigger character. And then the one that they decided to play out is Boa Hancock. This one here from PRB02, which lets you trash a trigger card from your hand and disable one of your opponent's leaders or characters from attacking. And it decided to pick the leader, it looks like. I think. There's no indicators to see on screen, but because of the trigger card being played, gets to put 2 rested down onto leader and swing 7k at the ace. See how let's see how the ace tries to defend. But yeah, you know 9 cost Bonney may be coming next turn, so you do want to save the Vista now to just chump a 10k attack. Okay, passes to the ace. How much attack does Bonney have? This one here, it is 10k, yeah. So this is usually what comes out on 9 down turn against the Bonney. So ace can use his first Eye in Whitebeard. It's an 8 down event that lets you play out any Whitebeard character. And then he opts to play the Blockbeard, lets him draw 2 cards and trash a card. We showed it earlier. Okay, I'll bring it up again, actually. And then allows you to attach 2 rested Dawn to a leader and a character. So we're gonna see 2 Dawn on the leader to make an 8k, 2 Dawn on the Jozu to make a 9k. Really big attacks now, 9k at the leader. This one might be a take, and then the 8k could be blocked in counter 2 with the the Stussy blocker here. Okay, takes the 9, see if he got a good trigger. He's thinking it's something. What could he need to deliberate on? The trigger camera was like, oh, I didn't catch it in time. Now it's ready. You see down here? They panned the camera over to what the trigger card might be. Looks at it again. It is, what is that? Otama? Otama from PRB02. Yes, what does it do? It rests a 4-drop or less, so it rests their Vista blocker at the price of losing a 2k there with that Otama going to trash. And then 8k from the ace was taken also, was it? I think because he put the Dawn rested that he maybe didn't realize that he didn't attack with ace, or maybe there's a reason he didn't attack. He just didn't want to trigger. Okay, so the Bonney takes their turn, so yeah, ace just didn't attack. So Lilith attacks into the Vista to kill it. Is he worried about a trigger? Because Stussy's a 7k blocker, he actually can attack over it, so there's no reason not to attack. Yeah, it could just have been down to him putting that Dawn rested onto the leader, on top of the leader, so he didn't realize that it was still active. Oh no, wait. The turn prior, this Boa froze the leader from attacking. That's why. That is why. Yeah, if they had like a token on screen, that would make it easier to follow. Okay, so 8 at the leader with Boa. Does have to use the blocker here. So Blockbeard blocks it for 12k. Still has access to Stussy and leader to attack with. So puts it down on Stussy. Here's an 8 from Stussy. It's taken by the ace. And still has Dawn to potentially get the ace to 0 if she just stacks it all onto leader, potentially. But then that's the hard part. What do you do after that? So it opts to play a character out. It is going to be S Snake from EB03. So again, if they have 2 or more life cards, they can heal 1 card with trigger. But also lets them put rest it down onto leader. It looks like they just played it out to heal with the Zoro here. And then yeah, it swings 8k with leader. So the ace uses the Ezo's effect to trash itself and then cycle a card just to find some more 2k counters. And then the Zoro, what does Zoro's trigger do again? So that's why Zoro's run now, because you can heal with the S-Snake with it. Oh, you can just outright rest a character with it, or leader. So this can rest the Blockbeard if he does decide to trigger it. That's actually pretty good. Wow. Right, so they're kind of forced to attack with it, or else it's going to get rested. Or they can't attack at all if they don't want their blocker to be rested. I actually quite like that. Dang. Okay, yeah, Bonney did get quite the buff with S-Snake in EB03. Yeah, he has to read what Zoro's trigger does. I don't think too many people know what this card does. But now it's finally going to see use. OPD07 card here. So yeah, EB03 did shake some things up, but we did see that it's still kind of Ace and Zoro and Emu for now. But that just could be that it's the first EB03 tournament. People just aren't familiar with the new cards and the new tech and the new strats just yet. Right? They just want to play what they're familiar with some new things trickling down. So I would be excited to see like a tournament or 2 tournaments from now how EB03 has affected the meta in its entirety. So it does still have one more Iron Whitebeard to chain into either the 9 cost or 10 cost or 10 cost. The 9 cost might be what's needed here just to make himself an AK base just to defend easier against these gonna be 3 attackers for the next turn, unless he can kill some things right now. Bonney does have 6 cards in hand. It was filled with quite a bit of 2k counters, so he has to decide how he wants to go about this. A 12 at character would be pretty nice, and I think if you don't want that Zoro to trigger, you kind of have to go for board here. There's 2 juicy targets here that he can go for. Okay, does swing 12 at the Stussy, gets killed, and then kill the Boa. I think that's what's gonna happen here. Okay, so he could go Iron Whitebeard, play out the 9 cost, and then he has 2 down left over to do like 10k at the Boa. Yeah, opts to play the Blockbeard. So again, that lets him put 2 down. So he can attack 8 and 9 at the Boa. So 8 here, 9 here, and he can attack this time. The Boa was not played the prior turn. Okay, does swing 9k Jozu into the 7k Boa. That dies. Okay, and now he's free to trigger that card, right? I think he's fine if he doesn't have the new gate blocker, if he rests it. Actually, no, probably not. Because if he plays a 9 cost Bonney, this life card will go to hand, and then he has a 7k here that can attack. Yeah, he opts not to trigger the Zoro here, because he needs the blocker. That also kind of signals that he doesn't have too much counter in hand if he's scared. Otherwise, like if he had math, he would probably essentially attack. Okay, we do see a second S-Snake that he can heal with in his hand. That would bring Bonney back up to 4, so that is gonna make it even harder for the ace to keep up, which is something you never hear said. It's usually the other way around. We're most likely gonna see another S-Snake. Dang, S-Snake is really good. Not that one, this one here. Oh, what is that? Oh, plays the 9 cost Bonney, that's the alternate of it. So yeah, makes them take their life card to their hand, and then has rush and lets them put 2 down onto the leader via leader ability. So leader swings 8 first before this rush Bonney can swing for 10 afterwards. But also if the opponent counters out of this, then they don't attack with the Bonney potentially just because there's a 12k blocker here. They can block 1 attack anyway. So we'll see how the 8 is interacted with. So it looks like they dropped the Jozu as a 1k, or was that countered last turn? Okay, I guess they countered. And yeah, they didn't attack with any of the characters because they don't want it to die on the clapback from these 12ks. So see how the ace handles this turn. Did pick up a 2k, which is nice. He could drop the 9 beard now. It's making him a little bit more tankier. So does swing 7k Joes. Bonney with no blockers, but with 3 life. If he triggers, the Zoro rests one of the new gate blockers here. It does trigger it out. Rests the new gate. He still has 1, so he may leave that one up. That's pretty crazy, Zoro. Still has all 10 Dawn to utilize for the turn. At 0 life, you just kind of want to turtle up. I did not see him have any like Marcos or anything to defend, to block. But yeah, as they mentioned on screen, that event card can rest the 4 cost blocker anyway. So it does play a 3rd Newgate Blockbeard. In case you guys forgot what he did, lets you draw 2 and trash a card from your hand, and then put 2 Dawn onto a leader and character. So puts it onto leader and puts it onto Garp. Leader swings 8k here. At the risk of getting a trigger, right? It matters if there is a trigger that could be the extra attack that they need to go for game. So it's a little bit of a gamble here, but if you never attack, like if the Bonney stays at 2 life, they can always heal with the S-Snake. So you kind of want to try to deny that. And then also on the flip side, Bonney really wants to defend this so that this S-Snake can still heal, because you need to have 2 or more life cards. So this would be 2 of the Bedges in his hand to keep his 2 life total. And that might force the ace to attack with this Whitebeard here. Oh, he takes it. Okay, he's not going for a S-Snake heal. Passes. I think he should have countered, but we'll see. Maybe he knows something about EB03 Bonney that I don't, because I haven't tested EB03 Bonney. So did pick up a Hiyori. It looks like Hiyori can set up your life. He does have 2 Bedges in his hand, which could actually like make or break the game. He doesn't have it. Oh no, he does have it. It's right here. So Hiyori can put this card into life. It triggers, or even this card can trigger and save your ass too. He has 3 options to save his ass via triggers in his hand. But he's staring down a 7, a 12, a 12, and a 12. So I don't know how many Bedges it would take to survive this. So the Bonney might be forced to try to go for game here with the 10k and then the 7k on their board. So it needs to force a block from this, a block from this, and then the leader has to be an attack that they cannot counter, which is going to be really hard. So 10k at face from the Bonnie at first. Okay, move the cards around so that it's hard for me to draw on screen. I don't know why it has to be in the middle of the two active cards, but I guess that's how they do it. Okay, so Bonnie uses leader ability. Oh no, Ace uses leader ability, then counters out of the 10k hit. That means there is no lethal available for the Bonnie. If only Bonnie had an unblockable. So now Bonnie has to go to turtle mode. Okay, attaches one Dawn to the S Snake to attack 8k at leader. Ace is down to only a couple cards in hand now. I think about 3 or 4. Okay, counters out of that as well. Out of hand, 4k counter, so there's absolutely no way of going for game here. Bonnie still has 9 Dawn left over. Can't really do much though. Okay, 6k at face from the leader. I don't recall seeing any blockers in the Bonnie's hand either. So this could be it right now. Dang, I did like that S-Snake into the Zoro kind of combo there. I wonder if he had countered to stay at 2 life, if the S-Snake healing back up would have like changed anything. Probably not actually against like 3 12ks like this, but let's see what he does. He does play up to Hiyori, takes that top life card, and then lets him put a card in his hand back on top of his life face down. It looks like he went for the Oh My God play. And that's just my nickname for You're the One Who Should Disappear, because in Japanese it's Omae ga Kiero. So it sounds like oh my god. So yeah, when you trigger it out, if you have 0 less life cards, you heal 1 and you charge a card from your life. Or from your hand, sorry. If you heal and charge from your life, you're back to 0. So yeah, they just played a Kikunojo to end the turn. They could have put 2 Rested Dawn onto something, but there's nothing else they can attack. So it does play the Roger from the Ace's side. Kind of overkill, but it's a 13k attacker that has rush, and then your opponent can't use blockers because he's at 0 life, but there's no blockers on the board anyway. So swings 13k at face, triggers the Oh My God. He heals a life and trashes a card from his hand. And then there's still a 7, a 12, a 12, a 12, and a 6. 12 at face. He has to take it. Maybe he gets another Bedge, another Oh My God. And he just he tanks it via life. Triggers to survive. Nope, goes to hand. 12. The 1 Dawn is paid for Blaze Slice, I think. Is that what that is? 2 Blaze Slices. So makes their leader a 7k base, and then he counters enough to save it, but not enough to defend against the third 12k attack. So Ace takes round 1 of the Hiroshima area battle. Nothing's changed, but Bonnie did get some new tools that were kind of cool to see on stream. So that's going to be it. Stay tuned for the other rounds. They're going to be coming up shortly. And yeah, thanks for watching. And let me know if you have any feedback. Would love to improve my videos, my casting videos. And I guess, yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Card D Kaizoku.